Zoroastrianism.
One of the world's oldest religions, a belief system born in the heart of ancient Persia, shaped the course of history and left a profound legacy still felt today. But what is Zoroastrianism, and who was its mysterious founder, Zarathustra?
I live in New York City, and my religion is Zoroastrianism. Were you born in? I was born into Zoroastrianism, so I've always been Zoroastrian all my life. The key tenet of Zoroastrianism is to be the religion of the good conscience. So I try to do whatever I can every day, that I have a clean conscience and that I can justify my own choices and I can live with the choices that I make every day. As I mentioned, Zoroastrianism is the religion of the good conscience, and a key element of having a good conscience is that you are able to sort of translate all that you do, all that you think, and all that you say into what is good and positive for the world. And so in that way, I try to sort of say things which are appropriate. I try to do things which are good, and I try to sort of make sure that I don't have thoughts which are not in line with what the teachings of the religion are, or which are not in line with what I would like for myself or my family. The sacred fire is less a physical connection, but more it symbolizes. Within Zoroastrianism, God is called Ahura Mazda, which is referred to as divine wisdom, and the fire is a sacred symbol of that wisdom in the world. So the physical fire itself doesn't evoke much, but it is what the concept behind it is, which is about divine wisdom and trying to do what's good and right in the world. I think what you mentioned earlier about good thoughts, good words, and good deeds is the practice which is most meaningful and which sort of helps you most in life. The whole belief system within Zoroastrianism is that you're part of a whole, and that if everyone does as much good and in the world while they're living, then the world that we're in will become heaven on earth, and that is what you strive to do. I think growing up as a religious minority, and particularly in a religiously intolerant country like Pakistan, where if you're not Muslim or even the right kind of Muslim within the depending on who you are with, can lead to feelings of being excluded and not feeling part of a community or a whole. And so that is what sort of has shaped me, and tried to live in places and create communities or create structures for my family where they can live in an inclusive society as far as possible. Particularly when growing up in Pakistan, Zoroastrians were referred to as fire worshippers, and that was sort of something which, when I was growing up, other people would make fun of or misunderstand, and I would hope that people really do look at Zoroastrianism as a extremely philosophically sound religion that exists in the world, and that doesn't really perpetuate worshipping fire or symbols like that. It really is, fire is used as a symbol for divine wisdom. I think only in my initial years growing up in certain rural parts of Pakistan, as I mentioned, being excluded or at times having to lie that I wasn't Zoroastrian was what I struggled with, but subsequently Zoroastrianism hasn't led to any struggles in my life. We are not a very religious or tradition following family, and so for me that hasn't really created much of a conflict. I think in my job on a day-to-day basis, there's lots of times when I have to make choices and decisions which are difficult, where it isn't always easy to know or take a clearly defined path. And there, using the tenets of Zoroastrianism around good thoughts, good words, and good deeds, trying to do what's right, regardless of how hard it might be, has helped to guide me and lead me to the right conclusions. It does give me hope, and every time I do look at some of the young Zoroastrians, is how passionate they are about their religion and about preserving it, and that gives me hope that despite the number of Zoroastrians being very few in the world, that there is hope, and that this ancient religion will be carried forward for many generations to come. Remembering that it is the religion of the good conscience, and that it is the pursuit of wisdom that is the essential tenet of the religion.
All right, anything else?